In the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, a heavy silence hung in the air. Alien leaders from various planets gathered, their faces twisted with worry. They were discussing a critical issue, the quarantine placed around Earth. The Council had imposed this quarantine many years ago, fearing the unpredictable nature of humans. They believed humans were dangerous, capable of great destruction. Zara, a tall alien with shimmering blue skin and large, bright eyes, stood at the center of the room. She was the leader of the Council. "We must address the risks posed by the humans," she said, her voice steady but filled with concern. "They have been quarantined long enough. What will happen if they escape?" Around the room, the other leaders exchanged anxious glances. Captain Zell, a fierce-looking reptilian from the planet Draka, slammed his clawed fist on the table. "We cannot let them out! Humans are wild and unpredictable. They will attack without warning." His voice echoed, causing several delegates to nod in agreement. But not everyone felt the same way. Lyra, a gentle and wise alien from the peaceful planet Viridia, raised her hand. "We must consider their situation. They have been locked away for too long. Perhaps they have changed. We should seek to understand them instead of fearing them." Her voice was calm, but the tension in the room thickened. The debate grew heated, with voices rising. Some leaders argued for immediate action, while others pushed for diplomacy. Just then, a small glowing screen flickered to life at the front of the chamber. A council officer appeared, looking alarmed. "Council members, we have an urgent message from the quarantine zone," he announced. All eyes turned to the screen. The officer's face was pale. "Human ships have broken through the quarantine barriers. They are emerging from the zone as we speak." Panic spread like wildfire among the leaders. "What do they want?" Captain Zell growled. "This is a disaster! We must prepare for an attack!" His eyes glinted with fear and anger. Zara quickly raised her hand to silence the chaos. "Everyone, please! We need to think clearly. We do not know their intentions yet. We must gather information before making any decisions." But her words did little to calm the room. Another delegate, a tall alien with a long neck and colorful skin, stood up. "We should send a fleet to intercept them. We cannot allow them to roam freely. They could be planning an invasion." His voice trembled with urgency. Lyra shook her head. "Sending a fleet will only provoke them. We must try to communicate first. We have to show them that we wish to talk, not fight." Her voice was soft but firm. "We cannot repeat the mistakes of the past." As the debate continued, the tension grew thicker. Many leaders were torn between fear and the hope of peace. The council was at a crossroads. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the chamber, interrupting the heated arguments. Red lights flashed above, signaling a state of emergency. Zara's heart raced. "What is happening?" she asked, her voice tense. The officer at the screen quickly responded. "The human ships are approaching our space station. We need to prepare for contact." His eyes were wide with fear. The council leaders fell silent, each lost in their thoughts. Captain Exel gripped the table, his claws digging into the surface. "They are coming for us! We must defend ourselves!" he shouted. Zara looked around the room, sensing the panic rising among the leaders. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions," she said firmly. "Let us be cautious but open. Prepare a welcoming committee. We will greet them with peace, not hostility." The officers moved quickly, trying to follow her orders. But deep down, every leader felt the weight of uncertainty. What would happen when the humans arrived? Would they bring chaos or a chance for a new beginning? As the council prepared for the unknown, one thing was clear. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with tension as leaders awaited the arrival of the human fleet. Each alien delegate felt a mix of fear and curiosity. What would happen when the humans crossed into their territory? Would they come in peace, or would they bring chaos? Suddenly, the large screen at the front flickered to life. A bright image of the human ships appeared. They were sleek and modern, shining under the light of distant stars. The ships moved with surprising speed, cutting through space like arrows. Zara, the leader of the council, felt her heart race. These were not the same humans they had quarantined years ago. As the ships drew closer, the atmosphere in the chamber became electric. Captain Zell leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "What are they doing? Why are they so bold?" he growled. His sharp claws tapped nervously on the table. Lyra, the gentle delegate from Viridia, looked on with a mixture of hope and concern. "Maybe they have changed. We should give them a chance to explain themselves," she urged softly. Zara raised her hand, silencing the room. "Let us listen to what they have to say." Prepare to establish communication. She felt a surge of determination. The fate of their galaxy depended on this moment. The humans finally sent a message, their voices clear through the speakers. This is Captain Reyes of the United Earth Fleet. We are here to reclaim our place in the galaxy and to establish peaceful relations with the Galactic Council. His voice was steady, but it held an undercurrent of urgency. Zara felt a spark of hope. They want peace. This is a good sign, she said. But Captain Zell was not convinced. What if they are lying? We should not trust them, he snapped. Let's hear them out first, Lyra replied. We have to try. As the Council prepared to respond, the human ships moved closer, docking with the space station. The sight was both impressive and intimidating. They were not the weak beings the Council had once locked away. They were strong and ready. A delegation of humans exited their ships, walking confidently into the chamber. Captain Reyes led the group, a tall man with short brown hair and a determined look in his eyes. Behind him were other crew members, each wearing uniforms that gleamed in the light of the chamber. Zara stepped forward to greet them. Welcome, Captain Reyes. We are glad you chose to come. Please share your message with us. Reyes nodded, his expression serious. Thank you, Council members. We come in peace. The quarantine has changed us. We have grown, learned, and prepared. We want to show you that humanity can be an ally, not an enemy. The Council leaders listened closely. Lyra could see hope flickering in some of the delegates' eyes. We are ready to learn from each other, she said, eager to bridge the gap between their worlds. However, Captain Zell crossed his arms, still suspicious. How can we trust you after what happened in the past? He challenged. What guarantees do we have that you will not attack? Reyes took a deep breath. We understand your fear. We have come not to fight, but to cooperate. We want to share our advancements and work together to build a better future. His voice was calm, but there was passion behind his words. Zara felt a shift in the room. Some council members began to nod in agreement, while others remained hesitant. If you truly want peace, then you must prove it. Show us your technology, your plans, and your commitment to cooperation, she stated firmly. Agreed, Reyes replied. We have brought examples of our new technology and strategies for defense and collaboration. We want to show you that we can help protect the galaxy, not destroy it. As the discussions continued, Lyra's heart filled with hope. She could sense the atmosphere changing. The tension was still there, but there was also a chance for something new. The humans were not here to fight. They were here to find a place among the stars. As the meeting progressed, a spark of excitement filled the air. The humans were ready to prove themselves, and the Council was beginning to see them in a different light. But deep down, the question remained. Would this new alliance stand strong, or would it crumble under the weight of old fears? As the day went on, the leaders knew they stood at a crossroads. The choices they made now could shape the future of their galaxy forever. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with energy after the humans' arrival. Some alien leaders were excited about the possibility of cooperation, while others remained cautious. The air was thick with tension as everyone knew a decision had to be made. Would they trust the humans or treat them as a threat? Zara stood at the center of the chamber, feeling the weight of the moment. We must decide how to move forward, she announced, her voice steady but filled with concern. We have heard from the humans, and they claim they want peace. But can we believe them? Captain Zell, still skeptical, stood up. We cannot forget their history. They are the same beings who fought among themselves and caused chaos on their own planet. How do we know they won't bring that chaos to us? His scales shimmered with anger, and he glared at the humans standing at the edge of the chamber. Lyra, the gentle alien from Ver, Idea spoke up. But they have changed. They have shown us they are prepared to cooperate. Isn't it worth giving them a chance? We cannot judge them solely on their past. Her voice was calm, a soothing presence amid the storm of emotions. The room erupted into debate. Some leaders shouted in agreement with Zell, insisting on a show of force. Others voiced their support for Lyra, hoping for a new alliance. Zara raised her hand to calm the chaos. Let us remember why we are here. We need to think clearly, not act out of fear. Amid the arguing, an unexpected voice broke through the noise. A small, round alien named Orin, known for his wisdom, stood up. We are at a crossroads, my friends. The humans may be a chance for growth and understanding, or they may be a danger we cannot ignore. We must consider the consequences of our actions carefully. Zara nodded, grateful for Orin's perspective. What do you suggest, Orin? She asked. I propose we invite the humans to join us in a joint exercise, Oren suggested. Let them show us their technology and strategies. We can see for ourselves if they are trustworthy. Captain Zell frowned. What if this is a trap? What if they use this exercise to scout our weaknesses? His voice was sharp and he crossed his arms, refusing to back down. Lyra stepped forward. If we do not try to understand them, we may lose a great opportunity. Trust is built through action, not fear. We can prepare defenses while we learn from them. She glanced at the humans who watched the debate with serious expressions. Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. We need to vote on this proposal. Let us decide together if we will trust the humans enough to invite them into our defenses. The council members turned to one another, whispering as they weighed their options. Finally, one by one, they cast their votes. Zara counted the votes carefully. When she announced the result, a sense of relief washed over her. The proposal passes! We will invite the humans to participate in a joint exercise. Cheers and groans filled the room. Some leaders were relieved, while others were angry at the decision. Captain Zell glared at Zara, his frustration clear. You have made a grave mistake, he warned. They will take advantage of our openness. As the meeting concluded, Zara felt a mix of hope and dread. She knew the coming days would be critical. Would the joint exercise reveal the humans' true intentions, or would it expose their weaknesses? Later, as Zara walked through the halls of the council building, she couldn't shake her unease. She had taken a gamble, one that could change the fate of their galaxy. As she approached her chamber, she found Lyra waiting for her. Zara, I know this was a difficult decision, Lyra said gently, but you did the right thing. We cannot allow fear to rule us. Zara sighed, grateful for Lyra's support. I hope you're right. The stakes are high and I can feel the tension rising. Whatever happens, we will face it together, Lyra reassured her. We are on the brink of something new. Let's embrace it. Zara nodded, feeling a flicker of hope. The coming days would be challenging, but perhaps they were finally ready to take a step toward a brighter future. The council's dilemma was far from over, but at least they had chosen a path forward. The council's decision to invite the humans into the joint exercise quickly reached Captain Reyes and his crew. Inside the command room of the United Earth Fleet's lead ship, Reyes sat at a long table with his top officers. The air was thick with anticipation as they waited for the council's next move. We've got the go-ahead, Lieutenant Hale said, standing by the large screen that displayed the council's message. They've agreed to a joint exercise, Captain. They want us to show our technology and work with their forces. Captain Reyes leaned back in his chair, his expression serious. This is our chance to prove ourselves. We're not just emerging from the quarantine to survive. We're here to thrive. His voice was calm, but there was determination behind his words. Commander Lewis, one of the top military strategists, nodded. The Council still doesn't trust us completely. They'll be watching for any sign that we're a threat. We need to be careful, but also show them we're not weak. Reyes looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each of his officers. We're not here to start a war, but we need to make sure they know we won't back down if pushed. We've been in the quarantine zone for too long. The galaxy has forgotten who we are. Lieutenant Hale frowned slightly. There are some who still think this is a trap. The Council's Captain Zell doesn't seem to trust us at all. Reyes smiled faintly. Let them underestimate us. We'll show them what we've built, what we've become. We just need to handle this exercise the right way. As preparations for the joint exercise began, the human crew worked with precision. Their ships, advanced beyond what the galaxy expected, were equipped with new technologies developed during their isolation. The quarantine may have cut them off from the rest of the galaxy, but it had also given them the time and space to grow stronger. Hours later, Reyes and his team prepared to meet with the Galactic Council's forces. The exercise was about to begin, and both sides would showcase their strengths. As the human ships moved into formation, the atmosphere on the bridge was tense but focused. The Galactic Council's fleet appeared on the radar, a group of ships from various species, all sleek and diverse in design. Reyes studied their formation, nodding to himself. They've got numbers, but their coordination is scattered. We'll show them what true unity looks like. The voice of Captain Zell suddenly came through the communication system. This is Captain Exel of the Galactic Council's defense fleet. We will begin the exercise shortly. Let's see what you humans are truly capable of. Reyes leaned forward, speaking calmly into the communicator. Understood, Captain Zell. We are ready when you are. As the exercise began, the ships from both sides moved through space in a carefully planned maneuver. The goal was to simulate a defensive situation, with each side demonstrating their tactics. Reyes watched closely as his crew performed flawlessly, their movements sharp and precise. The human ships outmaneuvered the Council's fleet with ease. Their speed, coordination, and strategy were far beyond what the aliens had expected. Reyes noticed that even Captain Zell's fleet seemed surprised by how quickly the humans adapted to the scenario. "This is impressive, Lyra," the Viridian delegate commented over the communication channel. "I didn't realize the humans had advanced so much." Reyes remained focused, guiding his team through the exercise with skill and confidence. The humans didn't flaunt their power, but they made it clear they were no longer the struggling race from years ago. As the exercise continued, Captain Zell's voice crackled back on the communicator, but this time there was a hint of respect in his tone. "Your tactics are effective, Captain Reyes. I can see that you've prepared well." Reyes nodded, though he knew this was just the beginning. "We've had a lot of time to prepare, Captain XL. We're not the same as we were before." By the end of the exercise, the Council's fleet had gained a new understanding of the humans. They had not come to conquer, but they were not to be underestimated either. Reyes knew this was a critical moment for humanity's future in the galaxy. As the human fleet regrouped, Reyes took a deep breath. "We've shown them what we can do. Now, let's see how they respond." The exercise had ended, but the real challenge was just beginning. Would the Galactic Council truly accept humanity as an equal force, or would fear drive them to act against the humans? Either way, Reyes was ready for whatever came next. The tension between humanity and the Galactic Council had reached its peak. The joint exercise had shown the humans' strength, but instead of uniting the galaxy, it had caused deep divisions. Some members of the Council saw the humans as a powerful ally, while others, like Captain Zell, viewed them as a threat that could not be ignored. In the Council chamber, the debate had turned heated. Zara, the Council leader, struggled to maintain control. "We cannot rush into conflict," she said firmly, addressing the room. "The humans have shown their abilities, but they have not attacked us. We must be cautious, not aggressive." Captain Zell stood, his face filled with frustration. "Cautious? They've just proven that they can overpower our fleets. If we wait, they'll grow even stronger. We need to strike now before they have a chance to use their power against us." The room erupted into arguments. Some agreed with Zell, fearing what the humans might do. Others, like Lyra, urged for peace. "The humans have not shown any signs of hostility," Lyra said, her voice calm but urgent. "They've cooperated fully in the exercise. Attacking them would only create the war we are trying to avoid." Zara closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of the decision. The room grew quieter as everyone waited for her to speak. "We will not start a war," she finally said, her voice strong. "We will meet with the humans again and discuss the path forward. This is not the time for violence." Captain Zell's fists clenched, but he said nothing. He wasn't ready to give up. Outside the chamber, he sent a secret message to his fleet, preparing them for battle. He believed that only force could stop the humans. Meanwhile, aboard the human flagship, Captain Reyes was preparing for a different kind of meeting. He knew that the Council was divided and that some of its members saw humanity as a danger. He had to tread carefully. "We're walking a fine line," Reyes told his crew. "We've shown them our strength, but now we need to show them we can be trusted." Just as Reyes was about to reach out to the Council, alarms blared across the ship. "Incoming ships!" shouted Lieutenant Hale. "It's the Council fleet led by Captain Zell. They're charging weapons!" Reyes' eyes narrowed. "So it's come to this," he muttered. "Prepare our defenses, but do not fire unless they attack first." Outside, in the cold expanse of space, the two fleets faced each other. Zell's ships glowed with energy, their weapons aimed directly at the humans. Inside Zell's command ship, the captain sneered. "This is your last chance, humans," he said over the communication channel. "Surrender now, or face destruction." Reyes responded calmly. "We are not here to fight, Captain Zell. We are here to coexist. But if you fire on us, we will defend ourselves." The tension was unbearable. The human crew stood at their stations, fingers hovering over controls, ready to act. The Council fleet waited for Zell's command. Then suddenly, Zell made his move. "Fire!" he yelled. Beams of energy shot through space, aimed directly at the human ships. Reyes wasted no time. "Shields up!" "Evasive maneuvers," he commanded. The human ships dodged and weaved, their advanced systems allowing them to avoid most of the shots. But a few blasts hit the shields, causing the ships to tremble. Reyes clenched his fists. Return fire, but aim to disable, not destroy. The human ships responded with precision, firing controlled bursts of energy at Zell's fleet. Their shots were targeted at the engines and weapons, disabling many of the Council's ships without causing catastrophic damage. In a matter of minutes, Zell's fleet was crippled. Inside the Council chamber, the rest of the members watched in horror as the battle unfolded on their screens. "This is madness," Lyra whispered, her heart sinking. "We need to stop this." Zara quickly opened a communication line to both fleets. "Cease fire! This is an order from the Council! Stand down immediately!" On the battlefield, Reyes heard Zara's voice and gave the command. "Hold your fire!" Let's see if they listen. Reluctantly, Exel ordered his remaining ships to stand down. His fleet was in ruins, and he knew he had lost. "This isn't over, human," he growled, cutting the communication. Reyes sighed, leaning back in his chair. "We've avoided a full war for now. But this isn't the end." Back in the Council chamber, Zara addressed the members with a heavy heart. "We have seen today what happens when fear rules us. We must find a way to live alongside the humans, or this will be just the beginning of a long and bloody conflict."